Hello viewer, welcome to Chungu cha Jamii. I'm your host Eunice Mugo. Today on the show we are talking matters to do with finances, and we are talking about the cost of living in Kenya and the financial management. So what is the cost of living in Kenya in today's financial era? What are the things that you're struggling with when it comes to the cost of living in Kenya? Maybe vis-a-vis the countries that you've been able to travel to and the exposure you've been able to get. Send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. I'm not alone. I have a guest with me who is going to help us to understand better the cost of living in Kenya. Today, I will allow him to introduce himself. Welcome, guest.
Thank you for having me here. My name is George Dome Peter. I'm a pastor in Westlands, and also I'm a financial advisor, and I'm part of a school which is part of our church, Destiny Path Foundation, where we teach about financial education. I'm part of that teaching staff. Yes, and I'm delighted that we are having this conversation, which I believe it is timely and the most important in our country today.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for honoring our invite to have this conversation. Before we even went on air, I was telling you, when it comes to financial conversation, I find it to be very interesting because it involves a lot of discipline and consistency. Maybe to kickstart our conversation, the topic today, we are talking about the cost of living in and managing finances in Kenya today. Particularly, we are looking in Kenya because where life is not as easy as you would think, especially when you're comparing it from where we are coming from to where we are currently. We are growing. But we have those memes that saying, I'm growing, age is growing, but when it comes to finances, it's the only stagnant thing that is remaining. So tell us, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear about our topic today?
It's about life in general.
All right.
For a Kenyan. Where we are currently, when you walk around, what everybody is talking about. So what comes in mind is about how people are experiencing the tough times we are having in our country. But of course, people are experiencing it differently. As much as it is like a national thing, people are experiencing the challenges differently. As much as the cost of living, the economy and all that, everybody is crying, but crying differently. And that is when it comes to issues of life and finances. So either way, everyone is crying, but the cry is different.
It could be cries of joy, not always being sad.
Yes.
But now, how would you describe our current financial state, especially for an average household in Kenya?
Currently, the cost of living is high for a common man, common mwananchi, when it comes to the tax price of a household in terms of how they spend. They spend in terms of their daily living, food, transport, utility bills and all that. The price is high. The price is high, and you find that it's not like before. So there is a challenge when it comes to the wallet. The wallet is a little bit squeezed. So the demand for that wallet is small. The prices are high, but now in most cases, the income has not grown. So the adjustment to life is where the challenge is. And it's where now you need to be informed on how to adjust to the high prices, because we may not be in control of the taxes and whatever else is happening in terms of fuel and all that. But you can be in control of your budget.
All right. In control of, we'll get to the budgeting part of it in a while. But as you are talking about as you're describing about the common mwananchi, what are these factors that are leading to the high cost of living in Kenya today?
First is the taxes. The taxes which we are introduced. There is more in terms of deductions.
Yeah.
In terms of deductions, and also now the cost of the prices of the fuels, it's affecting transport, because you realize that food is like, it takes like almost half of our income or our budget in our families. So when food prices they go up, you can be sure there will be challenge. And also now you need to travel. You need to move from one place to another. Either you move goods or you move to do business here and there. So because of the fuel prices, transport is also high. And also when you go to the other levies like the housing and also the cost of electricity and all that, it is affecting a lot of things. So you find that now what you used to pay before is not what you are paying like currently, but your income is stagnant. It remains the same. So now there comes in the issue of adjusting. So that is where the challenge is currently now, adjusting what you have versus the high rising cost of living. Yes.
Interesting. When you reflect back from years before where we are currently,
Yes.
things were not as bad as they look right now. But again, we keep on evolving and changing.
Yes.
So how do we adjust to the changes that are coming, especially when it comes to the cost of living, in the sense of, back in the day, our grandparents, our grandmothers never used to work per se in most of the households, right? Because growing up, we've seen women being told to be able to stay at home taking care of the children. But yet again, the man would go out and be able to afford a family of up to more than 10 kids. Right now, we are having a challenge where we are even bringing up 2-3 kids. It's really a struggle because a lot is expected. So what are those dynamics that we are looking at from years before that are here but have changed, in the sense of, before we could afford affordable good meals, healthy meals,
Yes.
houses, schools, name it. School could have been a challenge kidogo, but still people were going to school.
Yes.
But right now, even affording a house, even affording that school, even affording a proper meal, like a 3-course meal in a day, it's really challenging. You're either surviving on 1 meal or 2 at most. So what has really changed from those years to where we are now?
Yeah, there are many factors, because when you look at first the population then and now is, there is a very big gap. Now that's on demand, because now the more the population is growing, you find that now the opportunities available, there is a lot of competition for the opportunities because we are many. And so it reduces that junk of money we are looking for, all of us. Now you find we are many, so it reduces. Unlike before, you could find that now I'm the only one who is doing a certain type of business, so I can make a lot of money, and you see, and so because of the change of time, then demand, and also there are a lot of aspects of climate change in terms of maybe productivity like food, you see. So there are many factors that has affected our incomes from the times of our parents and today. So you find that now, even in terms of cost of production and all that, so you find that the prices before and now, they have to change because times has changed.
Allow me to interrupt you and ask this. As you're rightfully saying, times has changed and that the population has grown. To that point, I do agree. Yes. But you realize right now with the parents that you're having, they're not siring many children.
Yes.
Most of the numbers don't want children. If you're having a kid, should be 1 or 2. They're not doing big numbers of children like our grandparents used to do. Like, it could have been so abnormal for you to walk in a house and find 1 child, 2 children.
Yes.
But finding 10, 15, 7, it was not abnormal. It was very normal. But yet again, they were living well. So you also mentioned about in a business where I'm the only one doing this kind of business. But if the demand is going high, also the supply should go high. So if you're the only one who was supplying for this demand, then I come in and help you to supply for the same demand. It means that the population of the big number of people, it is making it comfortable for you to be able to sell to your clients and also for me to come in the market as a new person and also have my own or build my own clientele. So when you say it is different compared to before, what is really the difference here? Because I would say we are growing, okay, are we growing less in terms of number? Because we are not, the reprocreation part of it is on the reducing scale.
Yes.
Unlike before.
You see now, for example, like the cost of production, for example. Okay. If you look at now the fuel, transporting goods from Nairobi to, for example, let's say like a place like Makueni, for example, the cost of doing that business against before. Again, there is the issue of also because of the demand, the high rising of living, that there is demand in terms of everybody want to enjoy life. So you find that everyone wants to make money. So the same supplier, we are many. So we are sharing the same customers. As they grow, others are coming into the business, people are coming. So by and by, you find that there is the competition is growing because the demand of also earning a living is so high that everybody wants to earn a living. Unlike before, a father could work and it was comfortable, even the wife to stay at home and he could take care of everything. But you see now, the cost of raising 1 child versus then, it demands for all of us to look for avenues of making money so that the wife and the husband also are bringing in something because of the cost of living.
Well said. Moving on, when it comes to when you're talking about financial issues in our current state today,
yes,
it also, like you've rightfully said, mother, father have to bring in something.
yes.
But yet again, a reason as to why we found ourselves there is because at some point, whoever is bringing is not bringing enough. So you need the support.
Yes.
And the expectations also, when you're getting into family setups, also the expectations vary. We were discussing before we came on air about how different structures of families and upbringing affects our finances today. Maybe you can take us through that so that we now start talking about budgeting and now how to discipline yourself in matters to do with finances.
I will take us through what we normally teach in terms of financial education in our school. We teach four pillars of financial management. So first of all, we start with making money, because that is where it should start. Ways of making money. So number one, employment. You can work for money. That means you have a salary, you are working for it. Okay? Before we talk about anything else, we start with making money. Being employed, work for that money. So that now, once you earn that money as an income, now we begin from there. So that's the one way. Now, employment or salary, you have no control. So, if I am looking for a vacancy, for example, even if I am asking maybe for to give my expectation in terms of salary, I have no control. The employer might decide according to their budget. So I have no control of that. However, I would like to earn more. So whatever I will be given is what I will begin to budget from there and work with it from there. Number two, there is money working for me. That is business income. Now, when it comes to business is an art, is not a science. Meaning, it is something you can learn and do. It's about knowledge. I've heard people saying, mimi si wa biashara. Kwetu sisi si watu wa biashara. But anybody can do business. It's just having the knowledge. You can be taught how to do business and you become a business person. So that's another way. There are many ways of doing business, which I will not go to details, but that's something we teach. Okay, you can be taught and you begin and you become a prominent business person. The other way of making money is through donation or gifts. Again, gifts, you have no control or donation. But with the business, you have control because you can come up with a business plan for a whole year. Okay, you can control your cost plan. You can control your sales plan. You can control your profit plan. So with business, you have control. But the first one, salary, you have no control in terms of how much you are going to earn and also in terms of donation. So it starts by looking for ways of making money. That's the first pillar when it comes to beginning to talk about financial management, because you cannot manage what you don't have. And that's where we start. We start by teaching you on how to make money, how to do business. Okay? Maybe you have an interest in doing business. Then that's where we start. There are people who are also in business, but they don't have a business plan. So both of them, they need knowledge on how to start, generate and start a business. Others, they are in business, but they don't have a knowledge on how to go to grow that business to another level, because I have started business, I have created an employment for me. I need to grow that business to create an employment for somebody else. Now, by growing that business, I'm creating employment and also generating more revenue, meaning now there is more opportunity in terms of growth. Okay, there are those who have grown their business, but they have not expanded. So you can be taught on how to expand from Nairobi, and also I extend to Nakuru, I extend to even Uganda. So it's about getting the knowledge on how to go to the next level in terms of business. That is the first pillar. Okay. Now from there, of course, now when you talk of income, now we combine with budgeting. So that now we go to the next pillar, which is savings.
So we have talked about earning first.
Earning.
Then we are going to budgeting and income.
Yes.
Then we go to saving.
Yes.
So I want us to take a break, and when we come, we can start from this budgeting and also the income of it, so that you can go to saving. Viewers, I hope you're learning as much as I am. Send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. We'll be back shortly.
Coming up on Madness. Love collides with betrayal. An unexpected truth will shake the neighborhood to its core.
Semanga huu ankojemu atiajai kuletea kitu. Haya. Ndio hiyo.
Miracle. Umetoa pia anko.
Usijali, hiyo ni mambo yangu.
Check expiry 2022. Iko 2025.
Ni mkebe imeexpire, kitu iko ndani ni legit.
Decision, one secret, and a storm no one saw coming.
Apparently, the pastor's hoodie has sports betting code embroidered
When trust breaks,
all rent must be paid via M-Pesa or bank transfer.
the fallout is inevitable.
Nauliza, na hii tiri yako iko registered under which name? Kwa jina gani? Madam Transparency. Tuliona Fraud Surprise Limited. Kioski bila stoko.
Next time, the past refuses to stay buried.
Jackpot promotion. Unajua? Ndio jackpot promotion. Naifahamu. Wamekulipia. So, unaweza jienjoy. Nashukuru sana.
Sasa ndio mnajua kugonga. What they don't know won't light their torches.
Madness, a choice that changes everything.
So last year you were nominated for the Digital Creators Awards. Yes. Yeah, and you bagged second place for Creator of the Year. Yeah, tell us about that experience.
But by the time I was leaving university, the vice chancellor had bought my art piece.
Wow.
To hang in his office.
Wow.
Yeah.
The difference between pointillism, stippling, dot mandala, and dotilism.
Okay. Mostly do art with dots, with lines, and I like to just think of myself as a versatile artist when it comes to patterns. What has words but never speaks?
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome viewer to Chungu cha Jamii. Today we are talking about the cost of living in Kenya, and we are talking about how to manage your finances in this era. Send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. So, Mr. George, before we went on a break, we've talked about quite a number of things, where we've talked about first knowing how to earn money, because you are not able to manage something that you don't have. That's one thing that I've understood. Now, you've given us the first pillar as ways of earning money. Then the second pillar is income and budget. Then we go to saving. So for income and budget, what are we looking at? And how now, you said with the income that you have, that is how you're going to be able to manage your budgets. So in the families and in Kenya that we are in today, how now do you have this conversation with someone who is having to, this is the income, the expenses is too high, but again, I have to budget it.
Yes.
How do we shape ourselves to fit in this vessel of the income and the budgets that we have to survive at this scope?
First of all is when you earn money, whichever way, whether it is through salary and whichever way you have earned your money, we look at the expenses first. The expenses we look at, there is the fixed expenses. The fixed expenses are like things like food, like rent, transport. You have to travel, you have to move. So we look at, because when we are doing a budget, the objective is to get some free money, to free some money, so that at the end of the day we can get some balance whereby we can think of in terms of putting aside as a saving. So budget is about living within your means and be able to survive and be able even to do savings. Now, considering the rising of high cost of living, that's where you look at adjustments. What needs to be adjusted? There are things which cannot be adjusted and there are others which can be adjusted. Like for example, you look at loans, for example. If you have a loan somewhere, you can adjust in terms of the repayment of that loan. There are things like entertainment, okay, the money you are spending for entertainment. In terms of shopping, you can look and things which you can buy in bulk, okay. There are those perishable which you can work on a small budget on how you be buying in small portions, but there are those you can buy in bulk. So you are looking in budgeting, you look at the areas where you can adjust and remain with some balance, okay. So if it is transport, now you look at now them, is it matatu, is it Uber, is it my own car? So you look at the cost of fuel. If I use my car, how often will I be using my car? So that I can save something. The cost of fuel with my car a whole month, how much is it? If I can balance with sometimes matatu and all that, how much will I be able to save? So you sit down, you do a total and you look at, if I adjust some days, how much will I save? So that now I can have some free money which I can allocate to something else, or I can save because of the future needs and the emergencies and all that can arise. You see? So the aspect of budget is you have something guiding you in terms of spending. Because the spending habits, it is what determines whether I will grow or not in terms of finances. And that discipline is not easy. That's whereby you need to be radical, because if you are not going to be radical with yourself, with your finances, then you will not have something. That something that remains, it is that which gives you peace of mind, because I have something somewhere. In case of emergency, I have something somewhere. So the idea of budget is to make sure that we are living within our means and we have peace of mind, regardless of whatever is happening.
I have a question before it slips my mind.
Yes.
You said, as you're working and having budget, you're looking on ways to save some money or reduce some cost in this bit to be able to put this money aside.
Yes.
But what happens when you work in the mindset of, I have something somewhere, right? It's like, what example can I give? Like, I know hiyo pesa iko mahali. The moment I know, that's a backup plan, which I will eventually use it. It's not for a long-term duration, so I look at it. So how do you discipline yourself when it comes now to the saving aspect of it, so that by the end of the day, you're not calculating kama pesa iko idle mahali. It's not an idle money just doing nothing, but rather investing it for it to bring more returns. Because there is the aspect of just saving, putting aside for the purposes of emergency and everything. Because if you think of it as an emergency fund, eventually you'll have the emergency and you'll use the funds. But I'm looking at it from the school of thought, if you put it in investment, then I know this is a long-term thing. I'm not actually, I have zero. And like compared to nimeweka kwa account hapo. Because even me kukosa credit is emergency depending with what calls I'm making. And I'll eventually use it. So how do you cultivate that to be a practice or a culture?
First of all, when it comes to saving, it's not necessarily money. Saving is the why. Is the why. So the reason why we are coming up with this document called budget, because in that budget we will be allocating those monies for this and this and this and this and this. Now, the why is the benefit. Okay? So the money which I am putting aside for saving, it will be attached to a reason, a why. Because saving is accumulating money and safety. Okay? So this money I'm putting aside, what is it for? So that I know when I touch this money, then I forget about the benefit, why I was putting this money. So it starts with now having a plan, a saving plan. Why am I saving this money? Because the commitment of the saving is attracted by the benefit. Okay? If I have, maybe I have done my budget and I have seen now, I have this amount which I can allocate for savings. Now, when I say this is for emergency, okay, what kind of an emergency? Because some things are not emergencies. So you have to attach that money with a reason. The why is what makes you not to touch the money. The reason why you are touching is because it has no commitment. It has no attachment. And the attachment, it must have a benefit. So the reason why I have discipline on this saving is because I don't want to miss that benefit. I want to enjoy it. You see? So saving is not just putting money aside, is money with a reason. Why am I accumulating this money? I want to invest. You see now? You see now I have a reason why I want to accumulate. And that's why I'm giving myself some timeline. I say like within 6 months, I want to raise 100,000 because, okay, if I raise this 100,000, I will put into an investment plan. Okay, so the aspect of saving, it has to be attached with some benefits. Okay, so saving is not just putting money aside, because putting money aside, money is an expense in waiting. Like in putting money in the bank, that's an expense in waiting. If something happens, like I can create an emergency and I pull. You see? So
Yeah, sure.
The reason will also dictate the saving method, because I might realize the benefit I want here, it requires me to be attached somewhere whereby I will not touch this money. I fix it maybe for 6 months because of the benefit I want. And I put another money somewhere whereby I can access. You understand? So the planning, it is what gives me peace of mind that I don't touch everywhere. So there is where I touch because of this, and there is where I touch because of this. So every money is attached. So that's why I'm not worried with, I have a 6 months plan, saving plan to do something. I'm not worried about that because I have a plan whereby if I need money, I can access. So these are two separate things. Every saving has its own benefit. That's what helps you not to be worried of if I touch here or there. So I know where to touch when I want to do this. I know this is for this is for this. So those are the reasons that gives you commitment that this one I can't touch. If I touch this, I forget about that land. If I touch this, I forget about that car. If I touch this, you see.
Interesting.
So you have first, you start with the why. Once you analyze the why, now you begin to commit. This why requires 10,000 every month. This why requires 5,000 every month. This why. Do you know, even in terms of budgeting, you allocate even giving. Actually, that's where you start. Giving to God and giving to others. Okay? So you have a percentage whereby you know I have given to God and I have also a budget for, in case my colleague has something. So I have allocated, so I will not just touch anywhere.
Interesting. Moving on now.
Yes.
There's this one question I really want to ask you that says, how are the young professionals and fresh graduates coping with the mismatch when it comes to wages and expenses? How are they aligning?
I will put it this way, that first, it's about information. It doesn't matter how much you earn, whether you are young, whether you are, and most importantly, when you are young. Once you begin to earn, because that's where we started, by saying now making money. Once you begin to make money, you need information about money. So what you do with your money is where the difference comes in. And what you do with your money is determined by the information you have. You might be earning more than me, but you don't have information. I'm earning less than you, but I have information. I am doing great than you. So the first thing is information about money, because now I'm making money. Now that information is about now what to do with this money, and that is where now you need information about how to do budgeting and all that. But first of all is priorities, where you are. Like we talk about class of assets, and that is age bracket. Different age brackets, there are priorities. There is what is supposed to be happening. Like 0 to 20 years, that person is growing, is schooling, is all that, is independent. From 20, you begin to earn. Now, when you begin to make money, either salary, either you have done a business, you are making money through business, or you are getting some donations, whichever way. Now, what you need now is what to do with money. At that time, you have begun to work. It is the time of accumulating. So now you need to understand about savings. You see, savings. And now, for you to save, you need to know how to set goals. So when you begin to set goals, now you'll be able now to align, find saving methods to align with your goals. So what you need is information about now, I'm earning this. How do I organize my finances? You need to know how much do I need to put in terms of expenses. Okay? So that you are able to track your money. You track your money in terms of knowing this is the percentage I need to put aside for expenses. If I go beyond this, I will be messing up with something else. So this is expenses, this is for savings, this is for investment, this is for protection and all that, because those are the other pillars we talk later. So information about money, because now I have money. What to do with money in terms of where I am in life. What should come first? Okay, of course, that requires details because money is personal. So when I sit down with you as an individual, we will analyze where you are as a person. Okay, someone else, the priorities might be different. So the most important thing is information about money. What to do with my money that can add value, so that now when I look forward as I walk my journey of life, it is not by luck. I can tell the next 5 years where I will be. I can tell the next 20 years where I will be. I can tell even at 60 what will be happening.
What is the guarantee that you'll tell me in the next 5, 10, and at 60 years what is going to happen? Because again, we said we have no control of income and we have no control of employment. And we also, at some point, I feel allowed to be corrected, we have not control over business. You only have control with the business you want to start, where you're going to start it, but you don't have the control of people who are trusting you with whatever services or products you're providing. Then how are you going to plan ahead, especially when it comes a point the math is not mathing? So how do you say you've planned for 20 years, and then for those 20 years, at some point you feel you're lost, the bearing is no longer there. The direction you are going was west and now it's north. How you did a shift, only you knows. Or maybe now coming back to an expert and sitting. So how do you bounce back when such things happen? Because this is where we learn, we realize depression, stress, and so forth that now hits us. Like I had planned for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. But yet what I had planned, even when you're planning for a year, when you're starting a year, we have the New Year's resolution. Come May, if I ask you what was your New Year's resolution, you only have but a few that you've accomplished, and the ones that you've seen it's impossible, you've already even forgot about it. Wait until next year. Or 31st of December is when you're realizing, oh, but they had written. And I have not accomplished, or I even didn't follow it up through. Now, how do we make sure that whatever it is that you are planning, keeping in mind the things that you are not able to control, so that you have a successful 20 years to come, 5, 10, 15. That is what I want us to talk about when we come back. Viewers, I hope you're learning as much as I am. Send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. We'll be back shortly.
Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I stay. Where you move, I move. I will follow you.
Welcome to our Bible story.
Are you ready? Great! Today we are going to learn about a story about a widow of Zarephath. And he said unto him, Thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live.
Before I conclude, I would like us to read and see what is the will of the Father towards each and every one of us. Children, as you listen to that story, what have you been able to learn? And remember, this is Kids Mind, the Bible story. And as usual, this is where we learn, we laugh, and we explore.
we're going to be talking about the rock industry and rock culture in Kenya.
When an artist goes into a studio thinking about a hit song, God walks out of the room. So msanii achaguangi hit, hakuna msanii. Msanii achaguangi hit, like even most of the hit songs, some of the songs zinakuanga zile msanii hata apendi kwa hiyo.
Really, that's true. This pressure that is coming in, you need to feed your audience what they want to be fed with, right? What is trending, you need to go as per what is trending. So if you ask a majority of people out here, yes, rock music is there, it is being played, but it's not recognized sana.
Some years back, reggae music used to have a stereotype too. Reggae ilikuwa ya watu wa bangi, ya watu kama mtu alikufa, assuming someone died who died in the 90s, someone died in 1995, akifufuka saa hii na watu wanasikia reggae, he'd be very shocked. My goal is to demystify rock in Africa kwa sababu music is music, guitar, the rock, all music came from Africa. Muziki haina kabila. How do I put muziki haina kabila? In fact, they'd be shocked. The rock music we know as of now came from black people. Wakamba ndio marockstar Kenya. Hi Kambas. You know, they play the guitar, it's just an expression. Yeah, there's Kikuyu, gospel, hard rock, a guy called Kanyaki for example. So it's very misunderstood. Watu wanasema ni ya madevo, ni ya wazungu.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome viewer to Chungu cha Jamii. Today we are talking about the cost of living in Kenya and also how to manage your finances. Send in your question, interact with us across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. So before we went on a break, I had asked you a question in matter of how to be able to plan yourself accordingly without, we told if we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. But yet again, you've planned, but there's some things you have no control over. We said you don't have control over salary. We don't have control over the opportunities, right? And you also don't have control of, if you're doing business, the people you are serving. Until you build yourself and you're well established, that is when you can say you're in control, but again, you're not in control. So for you to plan for 20 years, for you to plan for 5 years, how are you supposed to plan yourself with in mind these things that you're not in control of?
We talked of income and most importantly, several streams of income. You can be on salary and you can also have business and another one. Because more streams of income means you can have more money to plan for. Because with salary you can be a little bit limited in terms of financial growth. But when you begin to think in terms of, okay, you have planned your life, where will I get this money to facilitate my plans? That is what makes you now to begin to think of other avenues or streams of income. By the way, the minimum streams of income one should have so that you can grow financially, at least 3. At least 3, you can be sure you will have something to set aside for your future financial goals. Now, we have talked of, now you have begun to accumulate money in terms of saving what you have been earning. Now you are saving, you are accumulating money. And now you have begun plans. Now the third pillar, which is investment. Now investment is where now we have the short, the medium, and the long-term investments. Now, we talked of benefits. There are several benefits when it comes to investment. As much as there are also several ways of investing. Because investment is about now building wealth, creating wealth, And the aspect of investment is growth. I want to grow. I want to grow to become this and this, to be this, to do this, to achieve this and that. So that is where you look at the benefits. There is the cash benefit or the value benefit of whatever you want to grow. And also there is the benefit of the uncertainty, which you have talked about. Today, sometimes it's not easy to predict life, but I can predict the education of my children. I can plan where they will go to school, but I cannot predict how long I will be here. You see, sometimes you cannot. We have hope. You have the assurance that you want to live long. Of course, everybody will live long, but along the way things can happen. You can live long, but things have happened along the way. Now those are now the risk you are talking about. Now, either I'm investing in land asset, I have this asset whereby I know it will acquire value after some time, or I have a pension plan, for example, or I have a long-term plan. I have a saving plan for my children. Okay, that's like a 20-year plan. Or I have a medium plan whereby I am looking in terms of I want to grow, at the same time I have safety. So that comes in now, the benefit of the plan of risk management. Okay, you diversify your savings and investment into different benefits. And that's where you come in and you begin to talk about protection. Okay, you talk about protection. So protection is about risk management. What is risk? Risk is a situation that can come and cause danger. Okay, that 20-year plan I have, that 10-year plan I have, that 5-year plan I have, what if, or suppose something happens? Because I have no control, as you have said. I have this plan for 10 years, but I have no control of, I have started a business, okay? I have no control of maybe what might happen along the way. But now I can have a plan on how to minimize or reduce or avoid. So in protection, we talk about many ways of protecting my investment, or protecting my savings plan, or protecting whatever I have accumulated for myself. May it be a family, may it be land, I have acquired land, may it be an apartment, may it be a project I want to do. So, for example, you can avoid meaning that you can be careful that even if this risk will happen, because I cannot stop it, but if it happens, that I will minimize the damage it will cause by being careful. For example, let's say I have like a poultry business, a poultry project. I can make sure I have padlocks. I lock the doors so that now my poultry cannot be attacked by any animal. Those are examples you can avoid. Okay, for example, let's talk of health. Health, I can eat well, I can do exercise. That does not mean that I will not fall sick. But if I do exercise, if I eat well, it means even if I am attacked with my sickness, it will not
take a hit or
yes,
on you.
the risk is a little bit, I have reduced the risk. You see? So now if I can insure my business against fire, for example, if fire catches, as you have said, now I'm not sure, something can happen. Do I have a plan? Am I prepared for that? So that's why now you come in and you talk in terms of risk management and protection. You see? You insure your property. Suppose an accident happens, okay?
What happens?
Which requires me to incur the cost.
All right.
You see? So those are now the measures you put in place. Suppose I have, in terms of life, personal life, suppose something happens, okay? And do I have a plan that will handle the damage which will come along the way? You see?
This one comes with those who are doing businesses per se and are willing to invest in that direction.
Yes.
I can see we're running out of time, but it wouldn't be fair if we finish without asking this question. So what are the effects of government policy like subsidies, taxes, tax reliefs, and affordable housing programs in addressing cost of living?
The effects. First of all, it affects our lifestyle. Because now you see now if there is 10,000 which has been taken from my income, which has not increased, so that takes me back to an adjustment. Now that means that butchery man who was seeing me every day will begin to see me twice a day.
Twice a day or twice a week?
I mean twice a week. That butchery man has also someone else who who depends on them. Maybe every time I buy, maybe he prepares something for me. He takes some sukuma, spinach somewhere. So now he also reduces from taking from that other person. So the cash flow, the money that is flowing, moving around is little. So it is affecting lifestyle. Those are the effects in terms of the household. Like we used to eat where we adjust some things so that now, you see, that's an effect. I used to save 10K. Now I adjust because now money has not grown. but in terms of bills,
they have really grown.
So I have to adjust because either way I have to do saving. I must look at where to adjust so that I can still continue with life normally. I'm still saving. Okay, I've not stopped, but I have adjusted, but I'm still doing it. Okay, I'm still in business. I have not closed my business, so I have adjusted in terms of my business operations. Okay, maybe where I go for shopping for my stock sample, I might begin to look for somewhere else I can get some discounts. So ways of managing life as per now. So the effect is adjusting to what we are not even used to, because there is little money in circulation. So if I'm employed and my budget has been adjusted, it will affect that boutique person. It will affect. So the issue is now, what has been affected is our budget in terms of adjusting so that we continue enjoying life, because we must continue living, we must continue enjoying life, we must continue saving, we must continue eating, we must go travel, we must do business, we must make money, so it's about adjusting, because I cannot control the government policies, okay, but I can control my operations, because my business is my idea. So it is my knowledge on how to do that business. So it's not about the government. They were not there when I was starting the business. So it is about me consulting widely and also gathering more information
I want us to finish this conversation, but also point out, as you're saying, you have no control in what the government policy has to do. But yet again, in as much as you're the initial idea inventor and everything,
yes,
when it comes to taxation, it's a double-edged sword. It
Yes.
can cripple you
Yes.
at any given moment.
Yes.
So anyway, what is your parting shot on this?
My parting shot is that the emphasis of discipline and consistency in matters of finances, so that I can keep on growing and focus on achieving my goals. And that can only happen by not ignoring the small steps I'm putting every day. One positive change every day is very important. Just one positive change, one positive growth, it is the way to go. Because that done consistently, over time, it will grow. Either it is like a discipline I have started, either it is a time management to maybe to help in my business to make more money. Either it is a saving culture I have started, though it is not easy. Let me put some consistency and discipline in it. Let's continue in that, because it is by doing that over and over, when things begin to change, because you have adapted to the culture of discipline and consistency in terms of finances, when I begin to make more money, I will do better. So it has to start where I am with what I have right now.
Thank you for honoring our invite and coming to have this insightful conversation when we have to talk about finances and the cost of living in Kenya today. Viewers, let's continue this conversation offline across all our social media networks. That's GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21140. Next time, have a nice time.
Every day,